21 years old, that's when the world should be at your child's feet. But for many parents of children with disabilities, knowing who holds the key to their child's success isn't so straightforward. This morning we meet a mum who's the eyes and ears for her daughter but wants nothing more than for her child to finally have her own voice. Reporter Yvonne Tahana found she's a mum who's not alone.
Come on in. Briar.
Marlene Rafferty's a proud mother duck.
I need you to look at this first.
Briar's personality, she's really bubbly. Being non-verbal, she speaks with her eyes. A lot of it is, if you miss the blink, you miss the conversation with Briar.
In some ways, a typical mother-daughter relationship.
It is a typical mother-daughter relationship.
School lasts until you're 21 if you've got special needs.
It allows you to get out and socialise with all the people that are involved at school. The stimulation that she gets from being in an environment like this, you know, as you can see, there's lots to stimulate her. And, well, she gets to be with her fellow students and, yeah, lots of fun.
Briar has Rett syndrome.
The girls that are diagnosed with Rett syndrome, they have a mute gene in their DNA. They lose a lot of their mobility and everything sort of around about, if it's not before 4 years of age, from there on. In Briar's case, yeah, she lost all her mobility and everything around 4.5 years of age. And it's quite devastating because, you know, they are developing, slowly developing, and then all of a sudden it just switches off. One of the things we are waiting on is a device which will enable Briar to be able to communicate herself, yeah, and that is one of our biggest hopes, is for her to be able to speak for herself rather than me have to speak for her.
While Briar is on a really long waiting list to see if she can access eye gaze technology, which will enable her to use a tablet to communicate with people, this is what her school has come up with. Little cards like this, where she uses her eyes to communicate with people. So they pull on, they pull off. It's a really simple version of what she's waiting for. And today we're going to ask Briar if she wants to get her nails done, and we're going to see if she wants me to paint her nails. Do you think that would be all right, Briar? No, you're over it. Finish. That's okay.
So Paula now has 2 white circles there, which means her eyes are being picked up by the system.
Briar's been waiting to try out eye gaze technology like this.
I'm going to select a communication grid.
I want to go shopping.
It can run between $20,000 and $30,000 a unit.
Hi, everybody.
Well, TalkLink's a charitable trust. We've been going since 1991, and we have some government contracts to work with people who have communication disabilities.
We're excited about that because I know Briar and her, you know, her eye gazing with me, but for her to be able to communicate through this device will be even, you know, another big, door opening for her. Sometimes I've said to her, oh, you know, if it works for you, there's some things that might need to be censored. That's just a joke with her and I, yeah.
When's your first exam?
This is Geneva Tenor. Her device has opened up her world, and she wants girls like Briar to have what many take for granted, the ability to just chat.
29th of this month, and then I have another one on the 5th of November, then I'm free until March. I really enjoy spending time with my whānau and friends. This communication device is an Accent 1000, and I have had it since December 2013.
Can I ask you, do you like this or your iPhone better? This? Really?
I have been with TalkLink since I was 4, and over the years they have done their best to cater to my needs, particularly when I transitioned into university. I think it is fair to say that I wouldn't be where I am today without the support of TalkLink, as they have provided me an avenue to communicate with society.
Does this give you a degree of freedom? Does it make you happy? Good. TalkLink is funded to match people with technology. ACC and the Ministry of Health eventually pay for the equipment, but 480 others like Briar are on an assessment wait list. She's been there for 3 years.
It's one of the things that we're trying to do is reduce those waiting times. If we could employ more staff, we would certainly be able to reduce the waiting times. So it's money at the bottom of it, I guess.
For Briar, having her own voice is still a way off. She lives with her mum on a papakainga at the edge of Lake Taupo.
I think this is what's really saved us, having this to come back to.
Yeah.
And being of this land here has got that real spiritual connection as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's helped heaps. I was able to bring her down to the water's edge in her chair and throw some bread around, and the ducks would come around.
So you could literally bring
Just
her down
wheel
there,
her all the way
take
down.
her out.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the summer months, I was able to get her in the water and keep her body cool. So therefore she wasn't seizuring all through summer, because summer times we kind of restricted to home, keeping her cool in the room and trying to manage seizures because of the heat.
But even in their own patch of paradise, there are problems. Waiting for an eye gaze tablet is just the tip. Navigating multiple service providers, the local district health board and government ministries is exhausting.
We sort of got lost in the system a little bit there. I guess too, again, the area that we fall under, the different DHB, and we're quite rural here. I've always found over the years, over Briar's 21 years, that services for our region here never quite filter down to little places like Taupo and Turangi. Yeah. This is where Briar's room is. Come on through and you can see along here all the scrape marks because we've really outgrown our environment. You can see just really limited in the room we have. With Briar, it's been around our environmental, our space where we live, accessing appropriate equipment to help with her bathing and her personal cares.
She's always in some sort of bureaucratic battle, even for basics like wet wipes.
These are the big topic of our complaints all the time is supplies to be able to manage Briar. So those are the wet wipes that we're always fighting over getting. Well, I'm having to try and get them back. After, like 3.5 years of having that available to us, it was just stopped. Get a letter saying it will be discontinued after our review. You do not qualify for them anymore. We always feel a big challenge in going to ask for support, whether it's for equipment to cope with your girls' cares. There's always a long length of waiting time, waiting lists to get things, yeah.
Frustration?
Lots of frustration, yeah.
We had that meeting the other day around those wet wipes.
Oh, yeah. The wet wipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to get them.
They're still not going to budge.
No.
Marlene started a lobby group with 2 other Māori mums in much the same position. They want structural change across the disability sector.
We've asked for a letter so we can take it further.
Yep.
We want equal rights for all. We've been told that it's going to take a long time, but we have all our lives to get these changes made, so yep, we're ready to do that.
Dig in.
Yeah,
Yes.
And this is what this rōpū is for. It's to be, positive changes for people with disabilities and their families.
And saying we have,
Parent.
yeah, and saying we have our lives, but for some, we're not getting any younger.
Yeah,
exactly. So we're kind of getting desperate too now.
In the meantime, Briar remains the centre of her mum's universe. While they wait for change and a clear voice for Briar, Marlene will do everything to make her daughter's life a happy one.
Are you happy? There we go. Had enough.
So the aim of pilot programs in Christchurch and Waikato is to help the disabled and their families have more control over their lives. The government agrees there is fragmentation across the sector. However, Disabilities Minister Nikki Wagner told Marae early indications show positive outcomes in these pilot programs.